What is up, everyone? My name is Zoe Psychosky, and thank you all so much for joining me on Motivational Monday. So a little bit about me before we jump in. My name is Zoe Psychosky. I'm currently a rising senior at Penn State University Park, and I'm a supply chain intern for PepsiCo this summer. I would have been at the Gatorade Mountaintop Plant and Distribution Center. So you're probably asking yourself, why are you giving Motivational Monday this week, Zoe? Well, to be honest with you, my passion is motivational speaking. I even have a YouTube channel which I post a motivational video every single week. So after this video, if it inspires you at all, then go check out my YouTube channel. I will leave the description below. So you're probably asking yourself, Zoe, what kind of motivational tips do you have for me? We're already halfway through this internship. We already have half to go. It's crazy. It's flying by so fast. So my first tip for you all is to pick up a bottle of Gatorade. So Gatorade is full of electrolytes, and whenever I'm feeling down during this internship, I pick up a bottle of Gatorade to replenish and refuel me. So that's my first piece of advice for all of you out there. So next up, I want to address the negative stigma behind Mondays. So have you ever reached Sunday night and you start to feel this dreadful feeling? You're like, oh no, I have a whole new week ahead of me. Like, I can't even do this. Well, I think we need to change that mentality, and instead of dreading a week ahead, we need to shift it to excitement. Because the truth is, you just don't know what is in store for a brand new week. You don't know what kind of opportunities are ahead of you. You don't know who you're gonna meet. You just do not know what lies ahead and how much you're gonna grow from Monday to Friday. So, and the other thing is that there are 52 Mondays every single year, and there are 365 days in a year. So if you're dreading 14% of your year, then you might want to rethink your mentality. So that's my first tip for you all, is to shift your mindset about Mondays. Okay, so my next piece of advice is, when you start something new, like say this internship, in the very beginning, you might kind of feel like a new sense of energy, like, oh my gosh, you're starting something new, this is so exciting, right? You just can't wait to jump in. But like as things go along, you kind of lose that energy that you had in the very beginning. So what this video is going to help you do is provide a stable level of motivation for an entire period of time. It could relate to an internship, or it can relate to literally anything else that you're trying to create a stable level of motivation in. So my first tip for you would be to think about your why. Flash back in your head to the fall or to the spring when you applied to be a part of PepsiCo. Why did you want to spend 6 weeks? At the time you thought it would be even longer, but why did you want to dedicate so much time to be part of PepsiCo? So, a common answer might be something like, I want to be part of an amazing company that leaves such an incredible impact on the world. And, if that's what your why is, that you want to be a part of PepsiCo, then drop a thumbs up in the comments down below. And that is a great place to start, but you have to dig a little bit deeper into your why. So I'm going to share with you all my why that might motivate you to think about, why did you join PepsiCo? So I've been a big tennis player ever since I was in 3rd grade. And, I played through elementary school, middle school, high school, and now even in college. I'm the president of our Penn State club tennis team, and I manage the women's varsity team. And do you want to guess what was always there for me, when I was on the court playing a really tough match in the heat of the moment? Probably Gatorade, right? It was Gatorade. It was always there for me. This is what fueled me. This is what kept me going in my matches. So now I get to be part of a company that produces a sports drink that fuels athletes across the world. Like, that just keeps me going. So I challenge all of you to think about your why and why you joined PepsiCo. So think about it. Leave it in the comments down below. Let me know. I'd love to hear it. And the next key step is to writing it down on a piece of paper or a sticky note and putting it near your laptop or put it near your wall or your computer. Because if you're ever struggling through some kind of tough obstacle during this internship and you're not feeling motivated to keep going, well then I challenge you to turn towards that piece of paper. Remember your why. Remember why you started and why you're a part of PepsiCo. So that is one key tip to maintaining a stable level of motivation over a period of time. Okay, so my next piece of advice is to plan and be adaptable. So what I mean by this is, we only have 6 weeks in this internship and you want to make the most of every single second of it. So what I do is like the week before, the next week, I write down every single detail, every Zoom meeting I'm gonna be in, every task I have to complete. I dedicate a certain amount of time to it so that when the time comes, I know exactly what I'm doing and I don't have to stress about, what should I be doing right now? Because you wanna make the most of your time. So that is my first tip. And then the other thing is being in supply chain planning. What a planner will do is they will look ahead, to the future and try to predict what the demand will be so that they can create the amount of product they need to support that future demand. But what I've learned so far is that you just can't predict the future sometimes. It's really hard, especially in times like these. There's the spike in the demand that Pepsi has faced is crazy. But you know what they did? They adapted and they were flexible. So, as much as you can plan out every single detail of your internship, my advice to you would make sure to plan but also be adaptable because things can change. Things do come up along the way. So my next piece of advice in order to maintain a stable level of motivation over a period of time is to give your 100% to every single moment. So do you ever just kind of look at your calendar and you just kind of want to rush through the end of the week and you just want to get it over with? Well, you need to shift your mentality. You need to be 100% there and present for every single meeting that you attend, every task you have to complete, literally every single detail. So that when you reach the end of your internship, you can look back and say, you know what? I gave my 100% to every single moment. So that's what I challenge you all to do because, if you think about it, Pepsi produces Gatorade, right? And they want to get this product to the end consumer as quick as possible, especially when demand is high. But do you think that they rush through the process of making this in order to get it out quick? Probably not. No, absolutely not. Because they focus on giving 100% to every piece of the process. So that's exactly what you have to do during this internship. Give 100% to every piece of the process. So for example, what they do to make Gatorade is they change the flavors when they're in the production process. And if they don't rinse those machines thoroughly, then the colors start to mix. So imagine they kind of rushed through that part of the process and got it out to the end consumer and the flavors were mixed. Well, the consumer, they wouldn't appreciate that end product. So what Pepsi does though is they give their 100% to every little detail. So that leads me to my next tip, which is being consistent. So what I mean by that is, yes, you want to give your 100%, but you want to make sure you're doing it in a way where throughout the entire internship, it's a very steady level of 100%. Because what's great about PepsiCo is the product that they put out, it keeps bringing consumers back due to the value and due to the consistency of the product. So as an intern, you want to put yourself out there by being consistent and giving your 100% to every moment. So my next piece of advice in order to maintain a stable level of motivation over a period of time would be your mentality. So do you ever wake up and kind of look at your planner and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to go through all of these meetings today. Oh, tomorrow I have to do this, I have to do that. Is that how you're thinking every day? Well, if so, I challenge you to shift your mentality from I have to do something to I get to do something. Because the truth is that we are so lucky to have this opportunity with PepsiCo this summer that, if you're thinking you have to do it, it's like kind of like you're trying to just get through it and like reach the end so that it's over. Well, instead, you get to do this. Enjoy every moment. Even if the moments kind of challenge you, that's good because it shows that you're growing. So speaking of growth, this leads me to my next piece of advice for you all, which Pepsi has talked about it a lot before, but it would be having a growth mentality versus a fixed mentality. So what a growth mentality means is that, you're not kind of just like what a fixed mentality means is that you're just like sitting back, not really challenging yourself to learn something new. Whereas a growth mentality says, you know what, I might not know how to do that, but I have a growth mentality and I'm going to figure it out. So for example, for me, I'm learning a totally new software I've never even touched before in my life. And at first I was like, can I do this? But then I was like, you know what? Yes, I can. I have a growth mentality. I'm going to learn. I'm going to adapt. I'm going to be flexible. So, if you ever face a challenge in your internship that you don't really know exactly how you're going to do it because you've never done it before, well then switch your mindset to a growth mentality versus a fixed mentality. So just to wrap this motivational session up, just want to quickly recap with you guys all of the ways to maintain a stable level of motivation. So first off, you got to know your why. Why did you want to be a part of PepsiCo? Remember to write that down and put it next to your laptop, put it on your window so that if you're facing a challenge, you can look to that and be like, you know what? That's why I'm here. That's why I'm putting my effort into this. Second piece of advice was to plan and be adaptable. So the thing is that, you can plan out every single detail of your internship, but things might come up along the way that you weren't expecting. But if you can be adaptable like PepsiCo is, then you're gonna succeed at the end of the day. And my next tip was about giving 100% and being consistent. So every single detail, show up there, show up, just be yourself and just put yourself out there as much as you can. And my final piece of advice was to remember, think about your mentality. You get to do this internship. You don't have to, but you get to. And have a growth mindset over a fixed mindset. So, I hope this motivational session was really helpful for you all. And if it was, then you should go over to my Instagram after this video. I will leave it down below and keep on watching these sessions with the interns. We're only halfway through so there's so many great ones to go. So I wish everyone here the best of luck with the rest of their internship and, keep on staying motivated. If you need any kind of motivational tips at all, just reach out to me. I love helping other people. So yeah, remember, go and get some Gatorade. Thank you guys.